I have one additional question for you. I have seen your caricature, Ho Ho, which I like very much. And my question is Honoré Daumier somehow, are you first familiar with this French artist from the 19th century? You are not. There are so many inspiration that I thought that you had from Honoré Daumier, but if you didn't know him, I mean his work, then that's another story. But it's very nice caricature. Con?
A lot of inspiration for what I make is not so much more of just to make something. It's a lot of times I'm trying to portray a story or some kind of trying to say something, and for me, it's that actually adds a lot to how motivated I am to do something. So I mean, for example, that's the only thing I have here, the hand over there, that actually has like a theme to it. And I don't know how apparent it is or not, but I don't know, in general I feel like it's sometimes would be pointless just to make something for a presentation that's just of like a recreation of how it looks like. Like if it's something important, like maybe if it's an object that has actual importance that could actually benefit to the piece, but like, I mean, you might ask then, do I have a lot of stuff to say? Not really, just if like making an art piece that's a recreation or something that's just visual is actually a good way to practice for like if you wanted to say something, but a lot of like motivation for creating something would be from what I have to say.
Thank you, Con. Carly, do you have comment?
I just wanted to add that inspiration usually comes when you least expect it and from like the least expected type of thing. Like something from your everyday life, you suddenly see it in a new perspective, and then all of a sudden you can see the beauty in it, and it inspires you basically. It's just all of that.
Thank you. More questions? Okay. Yes, please, because that's easier for.
I have a question. I've always set boundaries to myself and say, okay, I don't have the gift to draw or paint or whatever the case may be. This has to be a gift, right? Or besides trying to make it to the art show, did you guys have to go through any obstacles of having to redraw or redo things or take any drawing class to help you better yourself as artists?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'd like to just point out that according to Picasso's theory, in which I actually thoroughly believe in, nobody necessarily has a particular gift above other people on drawing. Like you might see some people who are really good at drawing stuff, but I guarantee you that every artist here, here at the panel, here in the art show, our art teachers have worked very hard towards their skill. Picasso himself just said everybody's born with the skill, but some people develop on it. And I guarantee if you spent like a year or two just drawing, like if you did a drawing every day or some form of artwork every day, you get really good at it. Probably within a year, people would start looking at your art and be like, oh, that's really good. Maybe you should be an artist someday, you know? But it's the same thing with any other profession. Whatever you put into it, you become better at it, you know?
Yes, Usman?
Also, what you said is true because I've been into graphic design or design since 2003, 2004, which I don't like to draw. Seriously, I don't like to draw. But when I came to PG, I took what's his name? Professor Togo, George Togo class, drawing 1, and then I started drawing, and I'll be like, wow. So why did I try this before? It saved me more time because I'll be able to like make a schedule of what I want to do before going either into the computer or something. Before I could then actually design what I want to do. So drawing doesn't mean sometimes it's a gift, but also you could learn on every day. You practice every day.
Someone else? Okay, more questions? Shall I give floor to student first? Yes, please get up.
I just have one question. When did you realize this became your passion? Did you come to PG and realize, oh, I want to do this, or was it way before then, when you were like a kid or something?
Way before. I used to take the fingernail polish from my mom. I'd steal her fingernail polish, and I'd attack the doors and the vacuum cleaners. And that moved to crayons and everything. And I just had to keep drawing and keep putting my little twist on stuff. And now you should see my car is covered in bumper stickers. My backpack already has everything on it. I always have to put my own twist on it. But just over the years, I just keep doing it. And like he said, practice. You eventually get good at it. But later, way earlier on, I realized that, hey, I like to draw, you know? So I'm gonna keep doing it. Hopefully I get a profession at it someday.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. Like, for I myself, I think it was also something that was seeded much earlier in my life. Ever since I can remember, I've been drawing. I've liked to draw. I didn't make the decision for that, not necessarily for the longest time. I just thought it was something that I had a huge interest in, and it was like a good hobby. And I tried to do other stuff before at a previous college I was at in trade school. But I decided, like, I want to make money someday, but I also want to like what I'm doing. And then I decided I'm going to go ahead and try and do my whole art thing because it's the only thing I've ever really been into. And I've found just through my experience here at PG that I really do enjoy working on artwork, and I am pretty confident that I'm going to enjoy my future career. So.
Yes.
I started off, the first semester in college, I was engineering major, and the whole point of picking that was to make money. And then after a while, I realized someday having a lot of money isn't really the most important thing to me. So, because I read this thing somewhere where the point of life isn't to have an end goal, it's to enjoy the road to the end goal, or a different form of that or something. So, I mean, it's definitely positive, as long as, basically you could pick, whatever you want, as long as you work hard at it, you could use that to be happy and sustain yourself in the world. But basically, after that first semester, I decided I wanted to do something that I had more of a say in, or more control over it. Because, like, if you're an engineer, you can make a building, and you have this functional structure for school or something, or like build a house for somebody. But as far as telling a story, that's like one of my favorite things to do, and you could really get into that with making art.
Thank you, Conan. More questions?
My question was, does music inspire you more, or do different artists inspire you more into like making a story as you draw and stuff?
That depends on who you are, really. I mean, we all have different inspirations, like we've already demonstrated. Sometimes music will inspire me more, sometimes an artist's work will inspire me. Like, I took this picture. We had a nude model in our photography class, and I took a picture of her lying down. But when I flipped it around and turned it vertical rather than horizontal, it looked like she was falling. And it actually, Miss Wegner's piece from the teacher art show, it really reminded me of that. And that was my inspiration for that, for framing it vertical and trying to put it in the show vertical. And just, so it depends on the person, really, and the moment you're in, and the artwork you're working on, and the message you want, as to whether, what inspires it most.
Thank you.
You want to go?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
As far as music goes, it's definitely a good source for inspiration if you're looking for it. But the way I see it, music is like another medium. So it would be kind of the same as if you looked at someone else's art piece, someone else's drawing, and found inspiration from that. It's definitely viable. But personally, for me, I'm more of a fan of coming up with my own ideas and trying to delve on those. Like, if you hear somebody's ill rhymes, they could be really awesome, but a lot of it would be just an idea that could be planted in your head from them. And and like that's